Digambara Digambara Sripada Vallabha Digambara. Chapter 14 Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham. Assurance given to Datta Das. I reached a village called Muntakallu after travelling for some days. When inquired, some travellers informed me that I could reach Kurungadda after a few more days of journey. I was very eager to see Sripada. A person was coming towards me with a pot of toddy. Even though I was not a pandit, I was a Brahmin observing some religious practices, and the stench of the body from the person coming in my direction was unbearable and caused intense suffering to me. I was walking quickly, uttering the name of Sripada, but that person reached me much more quickly. He questioned me, "When I am coming to you, is it proper for you to move away from me?" I asked him, "Who are you? What business have you got with me?" He laughed loudly. The bad odor of toddy was coming out from his mouth. He said, "Before you know who I am, it is better to know who you are. Where are you coming from? What is your destination?" I, Shankara Bhatt, thought that in this region, even the sellers of toddy seemed to be able to have philosophical conversations. He called loudly all the passers-by and asked them to come near him. A crowd gathered within a short amount of time. He was saying to the crowd, "Sirs, I tap toddy and sell in this area. I live according to dharma. The palm tree is the wish-fulfilling tree for me. This Brahmin waited under the tree till I climbed the tree and brought down the liquor. He told me that he is an addict of toddy in spite of the fact that he is a Brahmin. He also said that he did not have the money to pay for it and requested me to pour some toddy in his throat and earn some good merit. I agreed. When I was about to pour the toddy, he observed that there was a great deal of movement of the people in the vicinity. Therefore, he is refusing the toddy because he fears that his Brahminism would be tainted if he drinks toddy in the presence of all people. Toddy here refers to the liquor. I will be a great sinner if I break my promise. This toddy is equal to the ambrosia to the people of my caste. I hope to derive lots of good merit by offering the drink to this Brahmin. This Brahmin is dashing all my hopes to the ground. All of you who are pious, please teach this Brahmin about dharma and save me from being a sinner." As all the people who gathered there belonged to the Gauda caste, who made a living by tapping toddy, they gave much value to the words of their caste man. I was forced to drink the liquor, the toddy. Then all of them dispersed. The strange person who made me drink toddy also went somewhere. I was thinking in my mind, taking a noble birth as a Brahmin and travelling to visit the divine incarnate of Sripada. I drank this tainted drink. My Brahminism was burned to ashes. How can I see the countenance of the most sacred Sripada now? My fate is like this. Fate is very powerful. When this distorted fate is written on my forehead, how can it happen otherwise? I was feeling distressed. My footsteps were faltering. An unbearable smell of toddy was emanating from my mouth. I became somewhat giddy. I was blaming my misfortune and walking while chanting the name of Sripada. I saw a hut on the way. It appeared as a place of penance. I thought that some great people were there. I thought that I was unworthy of visiting pious people. I did not like to step into that hermitage. I felt that in a drunken state it was highly reprehensible to enter into that holy ashram. When I was going on my way from that hut, a person clapped and loudly called, "Shankar Bhatt, stop!" Sri Dattananda Swami ordered that you should be brought to the ashram. I was astonished at the divine play and stopped. I was taken before Sri Dattananda Swami. With mercy showering from his eyes, Sri Swami asked me to take a bath immediately. After the bath, I was given sweet fruits. After I ate them, he called me close to him and said, "My dear, Sripada Srivallabha, the new incarnation of Sri Dattatreya, has immense compassion on you. What a great compassion he has for you. He made you drink the divine nectar with his healing hands. You mistook him as a Gouda tapping toddy. You were deluded into thinking that the divine ambrosia was liquor. What a strange irony. I felt as if my head reeled. I thought the whole universe that I was seeing was disappearing gradually before my eyes. Then I experienced as if the waves of great ocean of boundless cosmic power engulfed me. In that infinite power, my small and despicable egoistic form of Jivatma disappeared. I was immersed in a particular divine bliss in which the entity I was not known or cannot be known. When the limited I was destroyed, this whole creation looked like a dream. Then Sri Swami sprinkled mantra jal on me. He smeared the holy ash on my forehead with his divine hands. Then I became my normal self. I experienced divine bliss for a few moments. When I became conscious of the external surroundings, I realized that I got dragged into the gross plane again. Sri Swami said, "You belonged to the Gouda caste in one of your births. You were drinking cheap liquor terribly. In the innermost recesses of your personality, the desire to drink toddy still remained. Without the grace of Sripada, you would have been addicted to a drinking habit and fallen down ethically, even though you are now a Brahmin. The glances of Sripada are ambrosia. There are many accidents indicated in your horoscope. He was removing them with his ambrosial looks, even without your knowledge. Who is capable of describing the greatness of Sri Guru? Even the Vedas kept mum while describing his greatness." I said, "Sir, I want to know the details of Sri Guru's greatness. My enthusiasm to know more and more about Sri Guru is increasing. Sri Guru is repeatedly declaring that he would incarnate as Narsimha Saraswati. I have an ardent desire to know the inner meanings of his votive plays." For that, Swami replied, "My son, the main objective of the spiritual quest of Vedic seers is the spiritual inner truth. The most important among their mystical words is Ruthamu, which means truth. That is, the truth of the soul and the truth of the material object. When this is commented according to the ritualistic practice, it is called in a variety of names such as truth, sacrifice, water, and food. In the same way, the word Saraswati is very significant. The river Saraswati flows underground. It was described as the one that preaches truthful sayings, one that preaches truth, one that preaches consciousness full of ideas or perceptions, one that tells about the great ocean, and the one that illuminates our minds. So, Sri Guru is a preaching power, a perennial stream of teaching. He is a voice of truth. He brightens our minds. He installs supreme truth and inner wisdom in us. Yagna in Vedas is an external sign of the inner nature. Men offer whatever belongs to them to the celestials through sacrificial rites. In turn, the celestials give back cows and horses. Herds of cow mean riches of brilliance. Horses represent the wealth of strength. The celestials also grant us powers of penance. To ensure that the secret meaning of the Vedas are disclosed only to the worthy people, they were preserved with the utmost secrecy. Ghee is the main material used in sacrificial ceremonies. Ghee also has another literal meaning of brilliance. In the Vedas, the letter Go has the meaning of light. A horse in the Vedas represents strength, strength of the soul and the power of the penance. In their mantras, sages asked for a boon of a horse with the face of a cow. It means that the sages desire spiritual powers that were driven by the illumination. It appears as if the hermitages prayed through many mantras desiring sons and progeny, but there is a subtle meaning in their prayers. The birth of a son is the sign indicating the generation of inner strength. This was described by them in the following manner. The fire is personally being born to us as a son. The fire is a son who is born in Yagna. He is a father of all fathers as the universal fire. In the same fashion, Salila and Udaka, which is water, were used with an inner suggestive meaning. For instance, take the sentence Salilam Apraketam. It means that ocean without consciousness, which is divine merged in the dark ocean called Jadabdi. Take the shape of divinity on the basis of its own strength. This was also described as the great ocean. In one of the suktas, sages declared that Saraswati shows the rays of inner wisdom as the waters of the upper strata of Salila. There is an inner meaning to the 7 streams mentioned in the Vedas. They are the divine attributes of the heaven. Sage Parsara asserted that the knowledge that resides in the water is life of the universe. One who steals cows is known as Vrutra and Dasyu. Vrutra is a demon who steals brilliance, waters, supreme truth and higher consciousness and keeps them secretly under his control. The forces which perform such terrible acts are called Rutras and Dasyas. They are the forces of darkness. They are great enemies of those who seek knowledge of truth. Sri Swami thus concluded. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabha Digambara. Jai Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.